Numbers 16, here you read how Korah, Dathan and Abiram and 250 princes took censers with which they offered incense in making a rebellion against Moses and Aaron and God, basically. And they were destroyed, and they were burnt up, and the censers of these men, these sinners against their own souls, were to be beaten into plates for a covering of the altar. For one thing, they sinned against themselves. All sin is actually against yourself. You think that I'm doing it so I get a better deal. No, you're actually going against yourself. And the censers were beaten into these plates and put around the altar in order to show people what happens to sinners. Now, later on in Psalm 73, you read about Asaph, and he says, my steps were slipping, I pretty well lost my faith, until I went into the sanctuary. And I saw those plates, he basically says, and then I realised, yeah, this is what happens to sinners. If I keep slipping away, going down and down and down, that's what happens. Now, the Bible is full of examples of judgment upon sinners. In fact, there is more of that in the Bible than the presentation of positive examples. We need to therefore give full weight to the example of sinners and what happens to them. We are to learn from history. We are to learn from precedent and see that this is where sin leads. You start a slip, you go towards the life of sin, that is where it is going to lead you. The problem is people don't learn from history. History is bunk, and I guess it is in a sense, but biblical history is not. Because here you see the incidents God has chosen in his wisdom to record, and he's chosen them for a purpose so that we might see where sin leads. Yes, he disagrees, as it were, with educational psychologists. Give the youngsters good, positive examples to follow. No. Show sinners where it goes to and where it leads to. That's God's view. And that is what we've got to give full and due weight to.